Mike, you said the other day that you love being able to take a team, somewhere new. So you guys have had the opportunity with all this extra time to do a bunch of stuff. They went paintballing. Last week they delivered Christmas gifts to kids. You guys will visit a veterans hospital when you're in San Antonio. How important is it that they get all these real-world experiences?
I think it's really good. I think that it's a great time for a team. There's all those activities you mentioned, whether it's a movie night or paintball, and it's just, one thing is, remember, there's nothing. It's Corvallis, so we have to organize a little something for them, and give them something to do. So a movie is good, a paintball's good. They're going bowling tonight, and then the experience of traveling like I said, it's just personal. I love taking a team to a new venue, going to there to practice every day. There's an added excitement to a bowl deal. It's just fun. Maybe the best thing that they did was they pooled their money and bought those gifts for the Community Outreach Center, and that they had a blast with that. And,
were you there when Inger dressed up as Santa?
No, that's all. That's all just them, and they did it. Our wives were helpful in organizing that, but these guys did it. They shopped. The wives wrapped. Thank God it probably looked better with the wives wrapping. But anyway, I think all of those parts are good. And for me, it makes it really fun because you got the activities plus the football is the main feature. So.
Do you think it helps to kind of help your guys realize what's important besides just this game?
Oh yeah. There's no doubt about it. I think that the reaction they have from that community outreach deal is always one that gives them a little different perspective on, that whole idea of having a grateful spirit, which we all need to think about once in a while. But it gives everybody a little different perspective, I think. And one thing that's always, I think, surprises people is it hits so close to home where there's actually people right here that don't have much. And I think it's good for all of us, probably.
DVD was saying that, there's Jordan Poyer and Marcus Wheaton and maybe a few other seniors were here the last time you guys went to a bowl game. But otherwise, all this stuff is new for your kids. And he said that people are just walking around with lots of smiles on their faces. Yeah. And he thinks that the staff, the coaches, and the ops staff really feed off that.
I think that's right. The enthusiasm for doing something for the first time is it's unique because there's only one first time like that. So, like you said, most of our guys have not been, and it makes it fun. It's fun, just a sidelight in what we do to have these kids experience something different. And a bowl deal is different, and for us, there's all sorts of isolated events through our careers where that really does make a difference.
What's the key to staying on point then for these guys that haven't been?
It's always about locking in for practice, locking in for meetings. You can enjoy everything, but you won't feel good about wearing the Alamo Bowl gear if you don't win the game. I mean, you just throw it in the back and ignore it. So you want to win the game, and the only way to do that is to prepare. Because if you lose sight, if you get those priorities mixed, and you won't play well.
Is it weird to you that you really don't have guys who have played in a bowl game before? I mean, Poyer played a little bit on special teams, but otherwise this is, you're not very experienced.
I don't really think about that. I think that probably is, because I didn't think about the fact that a lot of them haven't even been doing it because you should go to a bowl game. But I think it's just good to be going, Lindsay. I don't know, and it'll be nice to give some more of them some bowl experience, I guess, so it won't be strange when we go next year.
When you look back on your time in San Antonio, what memories stand out to you?
It's just a great place. It's people are great, the hospitality, easy place to move to, and the coaching was really fun. That league was fun. The World League of American Football was the predecessor to NFL Europe. Our league eventually became NFL Europe because they discovered that traveling back and forth was not a real good idea. But taking a team to Barcelona or to London or to Frankfurt, that's pretty unique in our world. It's probably my only chance that I'll have ever had to go to Europe. And so, you know, then maybe some of the players too. So that part of it was fun. And then we fell in love with the city and the area. I mean, it's a neat place. And, you know, unknown to us going there, there's lots of water. There's lakes and rivers and a lot of good activities. Yeah, you know, I didn't know that, but we ended up buying a little place on the Guadalupe River, and it's, you know, we still go down there and do the same things we did when we were young. You know, throw the tubes in the river and then take a float, and it's fun.
You coached a couple of people who went on to become fairly big names. Jason Garrett.
Yeah.
Was he on your team?
Yeah, Jason was one of our very first draft picks, and you know, it's neat to follow along in the careers. Chris Oldham from Oregon played for us, and then later played a long time with the Steelers. You know, and then Paul Christ was on our staff there, and Paul's the head coach at the University of Pittsburgh now. So there were a lot of good people, a lot of good players. So I think we might have had 5, 6, 7, 8 guys that ended up going to the NFL. So it truly was working. It was becoming a good farm league for the NFL. And the kids were very, very fun to coach because they were eager. They wanted that next chance. And so we had a lot of fun with it. Mike Johnson, who coached with us here and later coached Michael Vick in the NFL, he was our quarterback after Jason Garrett. So we had some good people, good players.
How about John Layfield?
John Layfield, yeah. He's made, you know, along with Jason Garrett, they're probably the ones with the most notoriety. And he was fun way back then. Little did I know that he'd become one of the most famous wrestlers around. And so it was pretty neat.
Did you follow his wrestling career? Are you much of a wrestling fan?
Oh yeah, I'm not much of a wrestling fan, but because he did it, I just knew that, and kind of excited for him. I know a lot of our players know who he is.
Right.
Yeah.
So you coached a guy who left football to become a professional wrestler, which happens often.
Yeah.
On this team, who do you think would be the most likely to become a professional wrestler?
Oh, Dylan Wynn.
Yeah.
Dylan Wynn would be he'd be a natural, I think, and let me think. Probably right now I'd just pick him out, but there's probably more.
He was the medium vote as well.
Yeah, that one would be pretty easy. I think this Gavin Andrews might have a little of that in him, the young guy, but we'll have to give him a year or so to figure that out.
One more practice for you guys before you head out. Did you get the game plans in? You get everything accomplished?
Yeah, we're I think where we want to be. You know, there's a full week plus tomorrow of what would be a normal week to get ready for a game, and I like what we've done so far. I think we've had now quite a bit of interaction between our first strings playing against each other, so we got some real speed work going in, and then I think the preparation's just making good progress. I hope so. All right.
Cool. Thank you, Mike.